Let's make a video on an oversaturated topic, shall we? What's up everyone, I'm Tony and I'll be giving you tips on what to do as a new player in Genshin Impact. Now this video is mostly for people who are below adventure rank 30 or 25 or just started playing. So let's get right into it. Tip number 1. It doesn't matter which twin you choose at the beginning, just pick the one you want to live vicariously through. Tip number 2. Follow Paimon and complete the first story quest that you're currently on. Don't go exploring just yet. You can if you want to, but the reason why I say don't is because you will come across certain things that require certain characters, and part of the map is locked behind the quest that you are currently running. So I recommend doing the main quest for a bit. Tip number 3. If you follow tip number 2, you should reach a point during the story quest where you will unlock the shop and the witch systems. This means you're essentially halfway done through the quest. So with these unlocked, you can now pull for characters on their banners. But before you do, there are certain things we should go over. Currency used for wishes or pulls are called intertwined fates, which are these purple ones, and acquaint fates, the blue ones. Intertwined fates, or the purple orbs, are used for event banners, which are up for a limited time and increase the chance of you getting the characters or weapons shown on the banners. Acquaint fates, or the blue orbs, are for the standard banner. This banner is up permanently, but it does not have increased chances like the event banners, nor does it have the 5-star characters and some of the 5-star weapons available on it. You can open the details page at the bottom for more information about what you can pull here. You can get fates by completing quests, events, and reaching certain milestones, or you could buy them using Primogems. You can get Primogems almost anywhere, and in every chest except common chests. Though I believe that only applies to common chests in Mondstadt and Liyue. Common chests in other areas released afterwards, like Dragonspine, Inazuma, etc. Common chests will start to award Primogems. You can also get Primogems by converting Genesis crystals. You can also get Primogems by converting Genesis crystals, which you buy with your real money. You can also use Genesis crystals to purchase things in the shop. Please know that you can't convert Primogems into Genesis crystals. Now here's just some advice. First, don't spend money on this game unless you're 100% sure that you will be staying here for a long time. I know it's your money and you can honestly do whatever you want. I'm just throwing it out there. Also note, you don't actually have to spend any money on this game at all. You could be completely free to play and do very well on this game. Lastly, you should have received some mail earlier containing some currency for some pulls. Claim it if you haven't already, then pull for Noelle. Noelle should be on the beginner banner, and this one is cheaper than the standard banner. Now, a lot of people will tell you to not pull on the Noelle banner because it doesn't count towards the pity system on the standard banner, and you should be saving your acquaint fates for that. Just pull for Noelle. The pity system is the least of your concerns right now. Plus, Noelle is a great character to have. Tip number 4. Once you complete the prologue quest, chapter 1, which is Outlander Who Caught the Wind, you will have gained access to a total of 3 characters, and the rest of the map of Mondstadt will finally open up. This means exploring time. This is where Noelle, or any Claymore user, will come in handy. Now, one of the reasons why I said to pull for Noelle is because she is a Claymore user, and they are good for mining and breaking rubble to unlock secrets. Yes, you can plunge attack with a sword and spear user, but just use a Claymore, it's much easier. Having certain characters in your party can help with exploration too because of their passive abilities, like Kaya, who decreases the stamina cost for sprinting, and Amber, who decreases the cost for gliding. Or if you have a second Anemo character, if you were doing some pulls and got lucky with a second Anemo character, put them in your party with the Traveler and you can get the Anemo party bonus, which decreases your stamina consumption and increases your movement speed. Also, while you're exploring, keep an eye out for some crystal flies. You're gonna need their materials later on in the future. Anyway, go have fun exploring and collecting all the shiny things you didn't collect earlier if you had any self-control. Tip number 5. You may have come across some shiny things Paimon calls...
Oh, it's one of those consolidated win things.
These are Anemoculous. Get them. All of them. And then take them to a statue of the 7. When you hand these in, not only will you get a bunch of good rewards, but it will also increase your maximum stamina as well every time you level up the statue. At the beginning of the game, your stamina bar is pretty low and can get irritating at times, so upgrading your statue will help you out in the long run. Now you can Google a map to give you the location of all the Anemoculous that you can find in Mondstadt. However, if you do want to find them on your own, here's how. Anemoculous will appear on your minimap when you get within a certain distance of it, and when you do, it'll make this sound. When you hear that sound, check your minimap because you might be near an Anemoculous. Tip number 6. Use pins on your map. They're very useful, you can name them, and they're great for keeping track of locked chests, puzzles, points of interest, and any materials for farming. Just a side note, some materials can take up to 2 days for them to respawn. Tip number 7. Spend your resin. If you check your map at the top right corner, you will see your resin counter. You should always spend it when you reach the cap because resin takes almost a full day to fully recharge. You can use Primogems to refill it, not recommended, but go for it if you want to. Or you can use fragile resin, which gives 60 resin per use. You can get these from events, the battle pass, and from reaching certain milestones like your adventure rank. At adventure rank 8 or AR8, you'll gain access to ley lines, the first of which being the Blossoms of Revelations. This will award you with character EXP, and they cost 20 resin per run. At adventure rank 12, you will unlock the Blossoms of Wealth, which instead of character EXP will give you more. At higher adventure ranks, you'll eventually gain access to domains that also cost resin. Don't worry about artifact domains at the beginning, you can worry about that when you get to adventure rank 40 or 45. Speaking of artifacts, tip number 8, save all your 3-star and 4-star artifacts. All of them, especially the Berserkers set, the Instructors set, and the Exiles set. These 3 are difficult to come by because they only drop from bosses and from monsters very rarely. You cannot get them from artifact domains. You can use all your 2-star and 1-star artifacts as experience fodder for your 3 stars and 4 stars. Make sure to equip everyone you are using with artifacts. If you are unsure about which artifacts to equip on which character, I'll be making an easy-ish guide on how to build and just to give some direction, so subscribe to stay in the loop for that. Tip number 9, kinda like tip number 8, save your 3-star weapons, or try to have at least one of each and lock them. While you're exploring, and if you have been pulling on the banners, you'll be coming across a lot of 3-star weapons. These can be very good and last you a long time, even into the end game. If you have any duplicates, make sure to refine them all into one and lock that one. Tip number 10, and you don't have to follow this, but try and stick with a dedicated team of at most 8 characters. I know trying new characters is fun, but at the start of the game, resources are scarce and you don't want to spread your resources too thin. At first I started with the characters you were given for free, and I didn't start building new characters until adventure rank 35 when I started to get access to more resources. Tip number 11, go explore Dragonspine. This is technically an optional location, but the rewards there are really good. Tip number 12, world level. This is a bit hard. Starting at adventure rank 20, your world level will start to increase. And at ranks 25, 35, 45, and 50, you will need to do a quest to increase your world level further. As your world level increases, the rewards from world bosses and drops from monsters will increase. However, they will get stronger. Your adventure rank can level up pretty quickly and your character's growth might not be able to keep up with it. Now, would I recommend staying on a lower world level? No. Personally, I would always raise my world level every chance I got because I wanted to maximize the amount of rewards I would get. If you do raise your world level and are having trouble completing some content, just make sure that you've upgraded as much as you possibly can before deciding to decrease the world level. Just remember, you can't change your world level until you are at world level 5, and when you do change it, you have to wait 24 hours in order to change it again. Tip number 13. This might be a bit late to mention, but try to talk to some NPCs. Some of them will give you free items if you choose the right dialogue options. If you want specifics, just Google a list. But here's a free one. In the Mondstadt Cathedral, there is a lady called Victoria. If you talk to her, she will give you a 4-star artifact. Don't worry about getting the dialogue options wrong, you can always just talk again to retry. Tip number 14. Once you reach Adventure Rank 25, you will unlock the Reputation system, which gives you access to bounties and requests. Completing these will give you Mora and Reputation experience. By upgrading your Reputation level, you'll get access to a bunch of good rewards and recipes that can create some pretty useful items, like a treasure compass to help locate any treasures you might have missed throughout Mondstadt, an Anemoculous compass that can help you find any Anemoculous you are missing, and a lunchbox that lets you eat food without having to go into your menu constantly. Tip number 15. Utilize your Adventurer Handbook. This feature is very useful when tracking certain enemies when you're hunting for certain materials. You can also receive rewards for accomplishing certain objectives. And that's all the tips I have for you today. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe for more upcoming guides and content. I also stream here on YouTube if you want to join, and I'm doing a 4-star only account. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Peace!